Thank you, and welcome everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm very happy to receive you here today together with Laura Thyssen, Operation Director at StartLife. I'm Julia Krastola, I'm Startup Analyst, and we're here for the 9th edition of the StartLife Accelerate program. And we are very happy to start with this.
We're super happy. We're super happy to have everyone in person again. Next to this live audience, we have about 200 people joining us online. So welcome to them as well. And we have 9 fantastic startups pitching for you in the coming hour. Let's start with a brief welcome by Jan Meiling, our Managing Director.
Wow, a lot of old friends and new friends. Welcome again, everybody. Shall I begin with the good news or the bad news? Okay, the bad news. 2 weeks ago, there was some news buried between the headlines of the war in Ukraine and the ongoing uncertainties of COVID. A message to the world that we're not going to reach the climate goals. Sorry, oops. 2 degrees global warming, no, maybe 3. But there will be some tipping points in between. So this is not good. 3 months ago, I think it was March, there was a publication in Nature which again confirmed that all the climate goals could be reached if we move towards a more sustainable food system. And a plant-based diet, of course, is a major component of that. So it is in reach. I think we need to speed up innovation. And I do realize that we, our community, we are only a small piece of a complicated, big puzzle, but we need to take responsibility. We need to take responsibility to grow, to have even more impact. And we are not doing this because we want to feel more important, but we want to create more impact, we want to take responsibility. So that's why we decided to grow. So here comes the good news. I've got 3 surprises for you. The first surprise is that this afternoon, during this show actually, Luther Emmelsberg, StartLife's program director, will disclose and launch a new startup program, which will eventually create even more pieces of the puzzle, which we need. Secondly, this morning we were very happy to disclose and discuss with our corporate partners during our corporate partner meetup and investor meetup also another new program that we're building, which is a venture studio, a venture building program. And this will hopefully also add more pieces of the puzzle on the table for people to eventually lay out that complicated puzzle that we need. Thirdly, and this involves you very much, so we're going to invest in the community. So as from September, we're going to organize every month a networking event. It will be invite-only, curated, because it will be a high-quality event. We hope to have 100 to 150 people every month. And picture a representation of the Avenue Next community. So it will be compiled of founders, investors, and corporate innovators to come together, not once a year, but every month here to get together and create meaningful deals, because that's what it's all about. So that's our investment for this year into the community, into bringing more pieces of the puzzle to the table. So also please join the community, be the community, share, bring, take, and let's move the needle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. And indeed, you know, we have to speed up this transition to a sustainable food system, especially with grim economic times coming up. So we're going to see what these startups can bring to the table. Let me first start by thanking who made this possible. Let's thank our founding partners. Let's thank our supporting partners, Wageningen University and Research, Regional Development Agency, OostNL, the Province of Gelderland, and Food Valley NL. And speaking of the community, we've also expanded our community. Over the past months, we're happy to have welcomed crop nutrition solutions company ICL to our corporate community. And on the investor side, we're happy to have joined forces with Box, with Astanor, with Investanel, and with Signature Agri Investments. More corporate news, we've also joined up with Martin Braun Groep. And Martin Braun Groep you'll know from Dr. Oetker. It's a baking agents manufacturer. So we've expanded our community with these partners. The community is growing, and together we need everyone on board to move the needle in this transition to a sustainable food system. So how can the audience chip in today, Julia?
Well, from now on, it's going to be just pitches from our startups. And so how it's structured is the startups will have 2 minutes to present. Then this will be followed from by a 3 minutes Q&A session. And we have an online and an in-person audience. So Peter will be responsible for throwing in the microphone to the startup, to the people that will have a question from the audience. And then for the online audience, we'll have a right below box in which you can put your question, and then you can also upvote it if you like a question from someone else, and this will get on top of the list of Peter, and this will raise the question to us. We will also display a QR code along the various presentation. You can scan the QR code and you can get access to the pitch decks of the startups and also all the contact details. You also have that in the booklet on your chair. So I think we are ready.
We
can start. Yes.
We're ready. And first up is Upstream Foods. Let's give it up for Chianti Fiegler. And Chianti is the CEO of Upstream. Oh, we even have music.
Ready? Hello.
Yeah, great. Great to have you here, Chianti. Yeah, great to have you here, Chianti. You're the CEO of Upstream Foods. Upstream Foods is in cell-based fish fat, and you have a great team with founding experience behind you. Tell us about it.
Thank you. Yes. So currently we are a 3-man team. It's me, myself, Kylie, and Eugene, who is also in the audience today. Kylie is our CSO. She has a PhD here from Wageningen in marine cell line development. Eugene is our CIO, always coming up with new partners and new crazy ideas to try out. And I am, like Laura mentioned, Chianti, the CEO with the background in tissue engineering.
Sounds like a fantastic team. Are you ready to pitch?
I am.
I'm going to give you this for your slides. Go for it.
Awesome. Thank you. So what if I would tell you that you could have a lifetime of seafood without ever having to kill a single fish? That is exactly the future that we are trying to create at Upstream Foods. I don't think I have to tell any of you guys that there's not an unlimited amount of fish in the ocean and that we need seafood alternatives and we need them now. If we're looking at the current alternatives, they're all plant-based, often breaded, and we see that there is a lack of taste, a lack of texture. It doesn't have the mouthfeel, and the associated health benefits are usually not included. That is why at Upstream Foods, we are developing a novel ingredient that can bring all of this to plant-based seafood, to make it super tasty, to provide that complex taste, that oily mouthfeel, and the omega-3s, the reason why a lot of consumers love eating seafood. So I can see you thinking, how? How are you gonna make this ingredient? Well, we're using cultivation technology. We're using cells as an ingredient. So what we're doing is we're taking a biopsy from a fish, putting the cells into a big bioreactor, and culturing them and turning them into fat cells, and adding that as an ingredient to plant-based protein to enable plant-based seafood manufacturers to create high-quality products. And we're starting with salmon and tuna. So this is the team, and we are very excited about the journey that we're on to redefine the future of seafood. Now, if you are just as excited as we are about this future, come talk to us, come connect, and let's see if we can build a better future together.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Chianti. I would really like to ask you a question, to get us started this. Why among various applications did you really decide to go for fat fish?
Yeah, so you see that there's companies out there creating fully cultured products, right? They're creating the muscle tissue, they're creating the fat tissue. However, cell-based technologies are expensive. And when we're looking at conventional fish, the fat cells are actually the cells that bring the flavor and that bring most of the mouthfeel to the product. So that's why we want to start with the most important part, the fat cells, which is only a small percentage of the entire product, right? So this will give you the most bang for your buck and just the most efficient way towards probably a cell-based future, but it's for us, it's a stepping stone.
Great. Thank you so much for answering the question. I would like to look at you and see whether there is some question from the audience. You can raise your hand, and Peter will throw the microphone. Any question? Yes, we have a question over there, Peter.
Ooh, that's hard. Oh! I mean...
Hi, Chianti. Thank you for your interesting presentation. I was wondering, could you sketch your future plans and what other applications are possible with the platform you are working on?
Yeah, so we are starting with salmon and tuna, really focusing ourselves on those species. But in the long term, of course, the technology can be used on a wide variety of seafood species, and we can expand that to basically anything. So that is indeed the goal, to diversify our species portfolio in the future. But yeah, we're starting with a focused approach for now.
Yeah, I'm Suraj from Wageningen. We said we need them right now, so I want to know how fast you're going to be on the market, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the development timeline, like it's not going to be ready tomorrow, unfortunately. I would love that. It's going to take a couple of years, and it depends. So first of all, our own development timeline, which will be 3 to 4 years, I would say. That's an advantage that we're focusing on the fat tissue. I think it's going to allow us to go a bit faster than fully cultured products. But then, you know, the regulatory aspect comes into play. So this is going to affect the timeline by a lot. And you see regulators gaining interest in the field, and they are talking, they're trying to develop frameworks. Yeah, we're hoping that that can take shape soon and speed up the process.
I think we have a question from the online audience, is that? Or, okay. A real one.
Making the bridge to the regulatory track, Karen Verzeiden from Exxon Lawyers. I heard via the grapevine that you're interested, primarily in the Asian territory. Is that true? And if so, how about Europe?
I mean, honestly, so cultured meat was born here in the Netherlands. I would love to bring the products on the market here in the Netherlands first. I think consumer-wise...
Or in Europe.
It's a great place to start. Regulation-wise, it's not such a great place to start, right? I think Europe has the toughest, probably, and one of the slowest regulatory processes worldwide. So it might not be the best place for us to start, because like Suraj said, we need them as fast as possible.
So you're going to talk with the Singapore authorities?
Among other authorities, yeah. But Singapore is an interesting first candidate. So.
Let's have a chat afterwards.
That sounds great. Okay, thank you, Chianti. I think we have to move on to the next startup. Well, remember to scan the QR code to get in contact with Chianti and also to look at their pitch deck.
Thank you so much.
And next up is Naturanova. Naturanova is a Chilean-based company. We're welcoming Juan Duarte, and he's the founder of Naturanova. Juan, your company actually is using computational biology to select the next generation of high-intensity sweetener. I already said you're based in Chile, company is based in Chile, your co-founder Antonella is based in Argentina. How did you end up at StartLife?
Well, thank you very much. We are very happy to be here. Yes, it was a great experience for us because our company, it will be not the same. Antonella is here, my co-founder, and I think, well, thank you a lot.
You're here for sure, yeah. Hey, are you ready to pitch?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm going to give you this for your
Thank
slides.
you.
Go for it.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Juan Duarte. I'm CEO and co-founder of Natura Nova. We are building the next generation of natural ingredients. We all love tasty meal. We also love combining its flavors, colors, and textures. But the problem is that behind foods, there are a lot of harmful ingredients causing people chronic disease, making governments create laws to regulate its amounts in foods. And also, the consumers are becoming more awareness on food choices. For this reason, in Natura Nova, we are on a mission to unlock the potential of novel plant proteins to create healthier, sustainable, and clean label ingredients. To achieve that, we combine computational biology to discover plant proteins and design a novel function for each one. And finally, we use precision fermentation to scale any ingredients. Using our technology, we develop Sweet Protein Plus, a new natural and artificial sweetener substitute with unique properties to formulate natural foods without compromising taste. And finally, we are looking for strategic partners, mainly suppliers and investors. We are Natura Nova. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Juan. Such a pleasure to have you here in person. I would like to ask you one question. I'm very curious about the regulatory path that your sweet protein is going to have.
Yes. Well, we're planning to apply for the FDA GRAS status and EFSA. We know that EFSA is the major challenge, but there are two ways. The first option, it would be it would qualify our ingredients as a novel foods that is faster, and the second option, it would qualify our ingredients as additive ingredients.
Okay.
So we are preparing all documents regarding to specific properties, safety of the product, and the application to start working with regulatory agencies.
Okay, that is clear. Thank you so much. Is there any question from the audience online? Yes, one question.
I have one online question. How is your sweet protein different from the fermentation-based products already on the market?
Yes, well, we want to use precision fermentation to scale the product. In the process, we produce the protein, but then we separate and purify and recover only the protein with high purity. And then we analyze the sweet profile to define a specific characteristic of each peptide.
Okay,
Great, thanks.
thank you. Do we have any other question, maybe? Okay, maybe I can ask you a question.
We got a question,
we have
Julia,
a
up
question.
there.
Yes,
We have a question,
there,
yes.
Peter.
Didn't see that.
Another tough one.
Where is it? Oh, there.
Hi, I'm Damien. I'm with Capricorn Partners. Are you developing your AI as a platform as well, or are you just targeting this specific product?
Okay. Yes, we're building a proprietary database to decode novel functions that could, for each peptide or each protein, could be patented for like new ingredients as to work in many industry. So we are planning to apply our patent for this year, but we have a landscape to patent in US and Europe.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think unless there are other questions, I think we can move on. And I want to thank you, Juan, again
you so
for
much.
being here. So again, if you want to be in contact, scan the QR code. And yes, let's move on to the next startup.
Yeah, I'm trying to not drop the mic. As we move on to the next startup, and we're moving to the AgTech side here, welcoming you, Martin, to the stage. You are the CEO of Light and Fog, and you are into fogponics and textile in vertical farming. You want to reduce costs in vertical farming and triple performance. Welcome. You were so fast, you don't give people the opportunity to applaud. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Martin, so you're doing good on the funding side, right? Tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks, actually. We just closed the funding, actually, and that also unlocked the grants from the Berlin government, where we are based, and that makes us really happy. It really gives us the opportunity to grow the team from now 6 to 10, actually. And yeah, in total, that gives us a good opportunity to grow faster, actually.
Sounds good. Are you ready for your pitch?
Yes, I am.
Go for it.
Good. So we started the whole thing because we think that vertical farming works probably just at 30% of its actual true potential. And that's why we have the mission to triple the efficiency of vertical farming. So there are also 3 things I want to talk about today. The first one I already mentioned, efficiency. How do we get 3 times more efficient? To make it short in this time, the most visually striking one, you see it on the right, we have a completely different architecture. So we reduce the waste of space. Let's say we grow 2.5 times more in the same space. A second thing that we do, we reduce energy costs by more than 50%. And because we're growing on textiles, we replace steel and plastics, which of course are not only not sustainable, but very expensive too. Add to that we have a much easier way of labor, so that we can reduce labor costs as well. So that's why we can add it up to such a bold statement to actually triple efficiency. Of course, that will unlock a few and a lot of markets. Another topic, the next one that I want to talk about is quality. So what happens to the plants? As mentioned, we grow with fogponics. That's a new way. That's basically the next step in aeroponics or hydroponics, as you might know. And the studies have found, for example, in strawberries, but it's across all kinds of plants, that you increase the quality. That means, for example, 25% sweeter fruits. And on top of it, you have 3 times more of it. Normally, that's a trade-off. In this case, it's actually really, it's wonderful. And now we're working on multiple plants. Multiple plants can be tested, and another thing is convenience. That's really important for us. We worked, and this is our first model. On a tip of a button, you can create a climate, you can grow those plants, you can try out what fogponics could do for example, your company. And that's our first model that we are starting to sell right now. And also the reason why we came to Wageningen to really get the science going behind all of these wonderful findings so far. And that's my pitch, the 2 minutes at least, and I will happy to explain more to anybody in person.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have a question for you. Like among the various industry, which one is the one that would benefit the most from your solution?
Yeah, thanks for that. It's really important for me to answer that question, because a lot of people see, first of all, the efficiency of vertical farming, but then also they just reduce it to leafy greens in the supermarket. But as we might have heard today, the use of plants is much more. We use plants to cure, we use plants to care, we use plants to smell and to look at. So I'm alluding to other industries that are really vitally dependent on plants, and that's pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and others. And therefore we have, for example, a really hot topic right now that we focus on molecular farming. Not only that molecular farming is for the cellular-based meat really important, speak about growth factors, but there's other things like insulin that you can grow in tobacco plants, and that's, you need closed, safe systems for regulatory reasons especially, and this is what we're building, and this is what we want to use it for first.
Right.
And, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Any question from the in-person or the online audience? I don't see hands. No. Well, maybe I can go on with another question. Like, I was wondering, for instance, how, like, your technology can really impact the online, the existing supply chain?
Yes, I think when you think about today, farmers are risk takers, not only because of the weather conditions they have, but also because of the market demand they would have to foresee. Therefore, somebody who's growing something has to be sure that he's going to be selling it soon, and also that the weather is going along with it. When you think about the whole system in the future with farms like ours and other vertical farms, farmers become service providers, and they need logistical and other services to actually grow whatever you want every day. So their life changes a lot, and the customers, that could be companies or simple persons, they can actually interact with the production line, and that changes just about everything nearly. And also, of course, it reduces supply issues, which in the last 2 years went obviously bad. Now we have a war, we have weather that's coming on, so I think it's really good that we have a change there in this whole supply system.
Okay, that was clear. Any question? Maybe, can you elaborate? Oh, yes, perfect. I think Peter will. Oh my God.
Peter.
Yes. I have to practice.
Yeah, I was just. So,
Eugene, please state your name.
congratulations, first of all, on the round.
Eugene, can you say who you are?
Oh, my name is Eugene from Upstream Foods. I was wondering, so now that you're going to be scaling up, right? Where are your customers going to be located geographically? Are you starting in Europe, and if so, in which parts of it?
We want to achieve that this question doesn't matter, because all of our farms will be digitally controlled, and that's one of our offers, that we actually make sure that people that want to use our farms don't get another problem, but solve one. Therefore, it doesn't matter where you're located. For logistical and simple reasons of being a startup first, we would look into European areas where we can travel more or less freely. And but otherwise we're agnostic to that. One will go to Israel. I would love one to be in Japan also. And then we create the first prototype network of farms that talk to each other, that find out things together. And one, for example, here. And that's our goal. So therefore we look for all kinds of partners. And think about it, every production line in the future will be a lab on the side too. So that will do a lot for plant science, I think.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think we're out of time now, but we want to thank you again.
Thanks.
You can give me the microphone. And remember to scan the QR code to get in contact with Martin. And yes, thank you again. Okay, so now we want to take just a small intermezzo. We would like to watch a video of Corvustron, one of StartLife alumni, and they're going to talk about their progress in this past period. And we are going to have then on the screen, unfortunately online, the co-founder Franz Peter that will also answer some questions. So yeah, let's go for the video.
Corvus Drones is a company specialized in drones for greenhouse horticulture, and our core technology is autonomous indoor navigation. So the drone flies fully automatic in the greenhouse. So you just have to press the start button, that's all. Digitalizing plant growth fascinates me because from my point of view it's the missing link of the information for growers, how to optimize their crop. And that's what Corvus does, is digitalizing plant growth and helping growers to grow more sustainably. We are monitoring the plants, and the grower gets information if the plants are growing well or not, so that he can adapt his growth strategy. And we can detect if, for example, flowers or pot plants are ripe enough to sell. So the grower gets a report, so this batch of plants is ready for sale. So we are part of the StartLife community, and they help us really a lot with validating the business idea and, for example, coaching, and never to forget, financing the business. The team is very important for us because we are a knowledge company, so we do a lot to create the team atmosphere and give all the people the room and the the space for their own development. And also, we supply ourselves with the right toys, like the table football. Our dream is digitalizing every plant in every greenhouse all over the world. So if you would ask where is Corvus in about 5 years, we have customers all around the world in all kinds of segments, because our solution should be affordable and applicable for every crop.
Okay, let's see if we have a connection. Yeah, there you are already. Hi, Frans Peter.
Hi, good afternoon, Laura.
Fantastic, you can hear us. We just saw, I mean, you're quarantining, right? So, I mean, you actually were supposed to be here. We're very sorry you're not, but we're happy that you can answer a couple of questions for us. If you have questions, please raise your hands. I'm going to start with a personal question for you, because you've been in the ag tech sector for decades, right? Why did you decide to step into Corvus?
But I have been for some while in EdTech, and I sold my previous companies and was wondering what to do. And the nicest part of business is starting again. And via my network, I was introduced to my business partner, Gerald, and he was looking for a commercial co-founder. And here I am.
Yeah, and that's a very good match, I think. We're talking autonomous drones here, right? Autonomously flying in the greenhouse. In greenhouses, you don't have GPS. So how does it work?
Yes, we adapt visual odometry, which means that cameras are inspecting the surroundings and the drone flies on cameras.
Okay, and that is accurate enough to not make it bump into anything.
That's accurate enough. And we are checking the KPI successful flights. And at the end of the year, we will be close to 100%. And we are at the moment a little bit lower.
A little bit lower. Okay, I won't ask you for a specification. Do we have questions? Yes, Suraj?
Can you stand up? No, it's just easier.
Hi, Frans. Congratulations on the growth for Corvus drones. I know it's very much limited to greenhouses, but I'm curious, how can such technology be adopted by smallholder farmers who are not having greenhouses? So
Open field,
smallholder
farmers.
And also hearing about the light fog or vertical farms. I don't know if drones have a role to play there, or they're not at all.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. And our drones can fly outdoor, but we have chosen to do not. And it has two reasons. The first reason is that space and aerial regulation prohibits autonomous flying outdoor. And the second reason is
clear. And your second question was on vertical farming?
on vertical farms.
Yeah. Clear. Let's go back to your drones in the greenhouse. You're collecting visual information, right, on the plants. How do you translate that information to something that growers can use? And what is the effect? I mean, you showed us these two graphs, but what is the effect for the growers? So prediction. Do we have a final question for Frans Peter? Yes, we do.
Yes. There's a lamp behind you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Frank. My name is Ding Ming. I have a question. If I think about monitoring and phenotyping in the greenhouse with a camera system, then the first idea would be a fixed position or a camera system on rail. What is your main advantage over those two systems by using the drone?
Yeah, camera on a fixed position is absolutely an option, but then you've got an impression of a certain spot in the greenhouse, and which not reflects the whole crop and the whole greenhouse. Then you could say, okay, I will implement several fixed camera positions in the greenhouse, and then I would say, have a nice journey because it's very costly. And mounting it on a rail, there is one company in the US which has a rail-mounted camera system, and there is a difficulty to switch from bay to bay with that kind of technology. And the drone will be 5 to 10 times more cost efficient.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Frans Peter. I hope to see you in person again soon. And thanks for answering those questions. And we...
Thank you, Donald. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. And we move on to the next startup. The next startup is Swiss-based Grome. Grome is transforming agricultural side streams into biodegradable and bio-based foams. And we're going to ask to the stage Susanna Sediva. Give it up for Susanna. Yeah, thank you.
Susanna?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, there it goes, there it goes. Fantastic. Are you ready to pitch, Susanna?
Yes.
Go for it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Susanna. I'm here to represent Grome, where our big dream is to transfer agricultural waste streams into foams. What I mean by foams are polymeric foams that, in fact, are lightweight, bulky, and yes, they contribute to plastic pollution. They can't recycle them, or it's very difficult, and they're not biodegradable. And this is, for us, especially alarming for fast disposables, like protective packaging or other foams. But actually, foams are all around us in a huge market, in our insulation, car interior, and many more. And this foaming story actually started in my PhD when I was foaming food materials, indulgence food stuff. And I was thinking, where can I really make impact with this foaming technology that we developed for biomaterials? And the idea came up to take agricultural waste streams and try to transform them into polymeric foams. We scaled this technology, we patented, and today we're combining this technology with proprietary materials into biodegradable foams that we hope to bring to the polymeric industry and to us, to consumers, across sectors. We have very similar attributes to polystyrene, but we can get easily rid of our foams after use. And today I just really want to salute StartLife and organizers. It's an honor to take part in this program, and I want to congratulate also all the fellow startups that are an inspiration and doing an excellent job.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Susanna. We are very happy also to have you here. I have a question for you. Like, you have different kind of application, I imagine, that you can use this foam. And so which one would be your first one?
As I said, the properties of this foam are very similar to polystyrene, so we can think along that track. We were looking into plant substrates, foam support for root systems, but we're now looking more into padding, cushioning, protective packaging-like applications for fast disposables. And our dream is really to attract the durable materials. The most attractive one would be insulation.
Okay, great. Is there any question from our audience? Yes, there we are.
Can you stand up? Stand.
What kind of, just a question, what kind of raw materials are you looking for, or waste streams? Is there specific waste streams you're looking for?
Yeah, I showed you the picture of the foam, but our big challenge is really to create a new supply chain. And this is, of course, depending a lot on which suppliers are ready to pioneer this with us. And for us to really make contracts with them, these have to be homogeneous waste streams. We cannot take municipal waste and throw it into a machine and make foam out of it. We are looking at big industries that are today producing this in millions of metric tons per year. Cereals, fruits, as examples.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes.
I love
Hi,
the
my
microphone.
name is Peter Meeuwse. I have a question on the price. Can you match the price point? Because you're mentioning quite bulky markets which are quite price driven. So can you match that price?
Yeah, excellent question. So we're competing against oil prices that are fluctuating a lot, and we're not price competitive today. Our scale is 10 kilograms per hour. We want to scale this to around half a ton per hour. That's about the industrial scale for foams. Then I believe we can be competitive. But as said, our big challenge is now to demonstrate this on a whole supply chain on which we can then perform concrete price analytics. But we're aiming for a price of $5 to $20 per kilogram of foam between polystyrene and polyurethane, somewhere there. Yeah.
And Susanna, biodegradability exists in many forms, right? So can you tell us about the end of life of this foam?
Yeah, we believe in not only biodegradability, but also recycling. Nevertheless, we're focusing now our renewable resources to make it biodegradable, and our foams disappear now in 2 weeks in compost facilities. And we're doing further tests for home composting, and we're also looking into recycling our foams.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I
Thanks
think
to you.
We're, yes. Remember to contact Susanna if you want to hear more about this technology.
More indoor farming coming up, and next up is Organofarms. And Organofarms has developed a robot, a harvesting robot for strawberries. They launched it last week on GreenTech in Amsterdam. Welcome to the stage, Dominic Veiden, and you are the co-founder of Organofarms. Oh, we actually saw your co-founder Hannah in the video back there. You were both at GreenTech, I think, last week in Amsterdam. What did your revelation there? What did it bring you?
Oh, it was great. We could completely fill our existing demonstration for slots, so we had to arrange some new ones. So you can now register again for our demonstrations. So if you're a greenhouse grower or investor looking to invest, feel free to register on our website.
Great, Dominic. Are you ready to pitch? Let's
pitch.
show us the robot.
Thanks a lot. So, as you already heard, I'm Dominic Veiden from Organofarms, and we develop harvesting robots for strawberries. The problem our customers are facing are high labor costs and also a labor shortage. So our solution for that is Berry, our harvesting robot for strawberries. It saves labor for our growers, reduces their costs, and also enables a steady quality of produce. As you can see here, our berry is also in action at the Delphi Softwood Innovation Center. We harvest by the stem, we don't touch the fruit, and directly pick it into the punnet, which enables 24/7 harvesting. As you can see here, we do quality control before and during the harvest, and with that we also can ensure the quality of the harvested produce. So afterwards it can go directly into post-processing or sales. We are currently at 10 kilograms an hour, so it's already a return of invest is already good for the growers who use it. So how do we earn money with that? We sell the system at 100,000 euros for growers. That's already quite good. They can add upgrades, for example, for plant care or UV treatments. And in the future, we will also utilize the data we collect while we harvest with our Clade platform, which would also enable yield prediction, and also you can track the diseases your plants could have. So what are our what have we achieved so far and what are our next steps. We have raised 1 million in funding and just released our product at the Green Tech. So currently we are in talks and trials with pilot customers, and we'll bring it to the market at the end of this year in Q4. And we'll roll it out with 10 customers, and then we will raise a seed round of 3 million to expand in Europe and also meet the market needs and expand our service and maintenance network. Thank you very much. So if that sounds interesting for you, let us shape the agriculture of tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Dominic. I have a question. Like, who would be the player who could benefit the most exactly of your technology?
Yeah, especially greenhouse growers and vertical farmers who grow more than 6 months a year, because for them it has a very attractive return of investment also in these early stages. It's below 3 years for them, so it's very attractive to become a pilot customer with us.
Okay, thank you, clear. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Dominic. So my name is Daan from the Lab. Why did you start with strawberries, and how is your plan to expand that?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not sure if the question was audible online, so I will repeat it. Why did we choose strawberries, and how will we go further on? We decided to pick strawberries because the value we add per pick is at the highest with strawberries, so it's also in the early stages quite profitable for growers, and we will later on also add tomatoes and peppers because it's quite easily to adapt from strawberries there, and later on we can also increase the complexity of the system, right? So we also can do other fruits and vegetables, for example.
Nice, thank you. Any other question?
I think mushrooms are a bit difficult. From economical wise. The question was, would it also work for mushrooms? It would also work for mushrooms, but I think it's not economically viable, right? Because you cannot just cut them at the stem.
We have a question over there.
I don't dare anymore.
You can do this, Elisa. You can do this.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Elise Bijkerk. I just joined as a mentor, so very happy to be here. Because of your name, I was also intrigued. For me, it triggered some sustainability impact. So I was wondering what the sustainability impact of your company is.
Yeah, as we do harvest by the stem, we can ensure quite a good quality of the product. So there are not bad spots on the fruit. Also, if you harvest that at the afternoon, right, when the fruit is very soft, normally there are bad spots on the fruit then. But as we don't touch the fruit itself, it guarantees no bad spots, right? So we can ensure a longer shelf life with that and less waste in the food supply chain. But we have not quantified that because we are not long on the market. But that's what we expect to see.
Okay, thank you so much, Dominic. I think time is up. So remember to be in contact with Dominic if you want to hear more about your robot and the possible application and maybe investment. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
And we are now moving to insects. We're moving to Insect Sense, and that is a company that is using the smelling ability of bees and other insects in various applications. You put it on a chip, right? Yep. Hands up for Rishi. You get to know the team straight away because we saw Leon here in the video. Rishi, are you ready for your pitch?
Absolutely.
The floor is yours.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Saptarshi from Insect Sense, a startup developing insect-inspired innovations to solve some of the major challenges in the industry today. Now you may wonder, why of all insects? You see, for millions of years, these organisms have been able to develop very specific abilities that has helped them to survive all this time. What if we can develop technologies out of it? And to start off, we first focused on the incredible smelling capabilities of insects. This smelling sensitivity is so high that it's like finding a single droplet of water in a 20 Olympic-sized swimming pool. And we have demonstrated this incredible capability where my colleagues have trained bees to detect landmines, but also to detect corona, which received huge international media attention. But what if we can still perform this detection without using insects? And that's what we did next. In our next big step towards innovation, we developed a completely animal-free technology where we just targeted the genes of insect smell, put them on our biochip platform, and integrated machine learning. And this is, in fact, Luminous. Luminous as a chip technology is highly scalable across multiple market applications, where it can be integrated as a handheld device or a system-integrated sensor. But we first targeted the dairy industry, where we identified that early disease detection with our sensors integrated right at farms can lead to greater than 7% profit for dairy farmers. We also validated a proposition by talking to veterinarian groups such as Royal GD as well. In the end, what we are looking for is seed investment for further development of our technology, as well as networking to create more business opportunities. So if you believe in our vision, join us in our journey with Luminous. Thank you.
Great, Rishi, thank you for your pitch. I was wondering, what are the main milestones that have been reached to date?
Yeah. So in terms of technical development, we currently have a prototype ready, which has been tested at lab. And we have tested it with animal disease biomarkers, human disease biomarkers, as well as in food quality. But also in terms of commercial milestones, we have got interests from companies and corporates who are functioning in this industry as well.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any question from the audience? I have a bit of...
Questions from the audience?
Yes.
Karin.
Yeah, I'll just hand it over. Can you stand up?
Thanks for your presentation. Could you explain a bit more how it works? You mentioned that the dairy industry will be targeted. How can you using your technology, smell disease, actually?
Yeah. So the principle is that all living systems produce very distinct smell. And when you're affected by a disease, there are very specific changes happening inside your body which produces very distinct smell. So the idea is, what if you can use sensors to detect these smells? Now, in the dairy industry, a scenario could be that dairy farms already use milking robot systems to milk their cows. What if we can integrate our sensors within these robots so that when each cow is milked, a small sample of their milk is passed through on sensor, and we can assess the health of that cow. So that is one of the ways that we have envisioned.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Yes, over there.
Hi, Peter Meeuwis again. I have to think of the meat industry where especially by pigs or the pork processing, the smell of the male pigs, that is, well, not what you want for the consumer. Is that something that could also be an application for this technology?
Yeah, so you're talking about boar taint, which is basically a smell, an off flavor and off smell that is found in pig meat. And it's a big problem. So in the food industry as well, we think that our sensors can be integrated at processing plants, whereas the meat products or any other food products where the quality needs to be assessed can be done in real time. So that's also one of our envisioning of how we want to integrate our sensors in such industries as well.
Okay, great. We have time for one last question. Well, I think then was super clear. Thank you again. And remember to get in contact and look at the pitch deck through the QR code.
Thank you.
And now it's time to invite on the stage, just for a moment, Lutz Ramelsberg, our program director at StartLife, because he really wants to introduce you a bit more about the new program we are launching. And yes, welcome, Lutz.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you. So I have a question to start with.
Okay.
What do all these startups have in common? Close? No, but indeed. So all these startups are supported by StartLife, but no one has actually gone through our accelerator program. And in the last couple of years, we saw more and more startups knocking on our door, and we said, look, accelerator program is already full, you can't join. And then we thought, okay, that's a pity actually, we are losing the possibility to make impact. And that's why today I'm really happy to announce that we are launching a second program, which is called StartLife à la carte, which basically means you can choose anything you want, right? It's like a menu if you go to the restaurant. You want to have investor meetings, you want to have corporate partners, connections, you want to connect with our program partners, mentors, anything you want, you can get from the menu. And it's a 12-month program where you step in either because you're too early for our accelerator or you're too late, or the accelerator program is full and we still like to support you. So from now on, you can apply on our website for our new program and get more support by StartLife and the ecosystem and the community around it. That's my announcement. Thank you, Bram. And if there's any questions afterwards, I'm happy to talk further about it. So it's very short stage time, but I'm very happy that I could announce this program.
Thank you, Lud.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lud. We'll surely see some of those StartLife à la carte alumni on stage next time. And we now move on to the last three startups, and we're starting with Next Probiotics. Next Probiotics is an Israel-based company. They want to put as many probiotics in vegetables and fruits as there are in yogurt. And we're inviting Danny Weiss, CEO of Next Probiotics, to the stage.
Speaking after Lud, that's a challenge.
Good to have you here, Danny. You're actually a serial entrepreneur in the medical industry, right?
Exactly.
And you now entered the food industry. So what's your experience in the food industry?
So
you know your audience, right?
Yeah,
but
so first of all, nicer people. And then the ability really to use all our senses to feel the product, to smell the product, to taste the product. That's a very big difference, and a difference for the good. So I'm really happy to switch industries, at least for the next few years, and becoming an entrepreneur in the agri-food tech industry.
Great, that's a good choice. Are you ready for your pitch?
Hope so.
Go for it.
So hello everybody again. It's great being here, and a big thank you for the entire StartLife Accelerator team. My name is Danny Weiss. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Next Probiotics. As most of you probably know, probiotics are beneficial bacteria that are associated with many health benefits. We're talking about the immune system, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system, and even it can help losing weight and belly fat. I guess now I got you interested. But the consumption opportunities are very limited. We are talking mainly about dairy products, but about a third of the population are either vegans or lactose intolerant. Also, the probiotic bacteria do not survive well the gastrointestinal tract, and most of them die along the way to the gut. Fermented food has a very distinctive taste, therefore it's a very small niche. And food supplements, well, they are costly. About, again, a third of the population has swallowing difficulties, and the effectiveness is questionable. So we are introducing Next Probiotics and developing a technology and a product for coating the seeds with beneficial bacteria that can penetrate the produce, use it as a biofermentor, grow inside that. It's fresh, it's healthy, and it's combining the three mega trends of the agri-food industry: the plant-based, the functional food, and the gut health trends. Really, fresh produce offering a superior symbiotic effect, combining the fibers, the prebiotic, and the probiotic, and offering two major advantages. The first one is protecting the probiotic through the gastrointestinal tract, and the second one is helping them to colonize better in the gut. So we started the company in 2022 after 4 years of research in 3 leading academic Israeli labs. We already have our IP in the national phase. We raised recently $3 million from an Israeli leading VC fund. We have a full-blown team and R&D program, and we just started to talk with the next round investors and with prospective partners. So you are all welcome to join our journey. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny, for your presentation. I was wondering whether you already decided which vegetable or which fruit are you gonna use your probiotics?
Yeah, of course we did. So we are initially focusing on sprouts, on microgreens, and later on leafy greens. They have a short growing cycles. They grow in environment which is easier for us, controlled environment. And they are premium products, therefore the consumers are willing to pay more for getting all their nutritional and health benefits.
And maybe to follow up, like when will we see them on the market?
So we are planning to launch our initial product next year within 5 quarters from now, and then grow to a family of products, the ones that I've mentioned.
Okay, great to hear. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes, we have 2 questions. So we can start from one here. Can you raise your hand again? Oh.
Max Rijp. Just a question, how will the end product look like? Is it sprayed? Is it fresh product, or how does it look like?
It's fresh product. You wouldn't feel anything in terms of the texture or the flavor. Like in the yogurt, you'll have the benefits of the probiotics inside. So think about the Intel inside concept. It's probiotics inside, like in the yogurt.
Okay. The other question was somewhere here, right?
I think my question was similar because I was thinking, okay, probiotics, that are bacteria, so where are the bacteria on the plants? But inside the plants.
Inside the plant, they grow inside the plant itself as endophytic bacteria in the
So-
intracellular tissue of the plant.
And so is the coating is on the seed and then it goes into the seed and then it goes into the plant? Or how
Exactly.
does
The
it work?
coating is on the seed. It penetrates the seeds using the plant as a biofermentor, growing inside, and the consumers will enjoy all the benefits of the probiotics.
Okay, thank you.
We have another question in the front.
Hi. Does it in any way affect the growth of the plant?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, we have initial indications that it increases the yield, okay, because it's a biological material, and also it reduces the scrap because these probiotic bacteria, endophytic probiotic bacteria, are fighting the pathogens like E. coli and Salmonella. So for the farmers, increasing the yield and reducing the scraps brings very, very significant benefits.
Impressive.
Do we have another question there? Yes.
Just a quick question about that end product. Sorry, Bart Visser. Will you then use existing vegetable producers already and just add it on top, or will you start producing your own produce?
We are not planning to become farmers. We would work with existing farmers to help them grow better produce and allow it to go to the market.
Okay, great. Do we have another question? Yes, okay.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. My name is Florentine. So are you going to sell your coating also to the seed industry, or are you going to coat them on the farms, or how is it going to be applied? In the
So
end?
both. We are going to sell it both to farmers and the seed company, and even create co-branded seed lines with the seed companies.
Great. If we don't have any other question, I want to thank you again for being here. Please make contact with Danny and also with the team and look at the pitch deck, and I hope they will follow up. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much.
Whoa. Whoa. That was bound to happen once. Thanks a lot. And we move on to Noah Biosciences. And Noah's going to tell you all about how they convert wood to food. Koen Wentink is the CEO of Noah Biosciences.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Yeah, it's working. It's working.
It's
Koen.
working.
Are you ready for your pitch?
I'm ready for the pitch.
The floor
Yes,
is yours.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. NOAA Biosciences, Wood to Food project, we call it, provides end-to-end solution to transform wood into a fungal protein product. And the way we do that is here on the slide. We start from a woody biomass. We convert it into a fermentable substrate. On that substrate, we grow the fungal biomass. That biomass gets harvested, processed, and in a few minimal steps into a fresh fungal meat product that is then being sold to the food services and restaurants. What is then done with the leftover of the substrate? It is recycled into worm and insect feed and biofertilizer, so that basically at the entire process there is no waste left at all. So what is the benefit of this all? The benefit is has multiple angles. One is from the feedstock. By using woody biomass, we add an entirely new, 100% sustainable, abundantly available new source of feedstock to the existing food system that will help us to solve many issues that are currently being faced in food production. On the processing side, our product is harvested and then basically ready to eat. So it, unlike most of our competitors' products, do not require formulation, texturization, extraction, etc. So there's no need for huge capex investments in in processing facilities. The scale-up, on the scale-up side, we plan to scale up the second production step of producing the fungal biomass by modularity, meaning we take small-scale units and multiply the numbers and involve the farming community in this, so that it is also becoming an inclusive model. And again, the benefit of this is that we can avoid enormous capex investments in production facilities that most of our competing companies are having to make. Finally, the product benefits. By using the biology of fungi, we deliver locally produced, a superior tasting product with a very good texture also. Also on health and nutrition, it scores very high. And finally, it is a very versatile product which can be used by the chefs in the restaurants in multiple ways and manners to basically to match any kind of taste and cultures. So we are raising a seed round to set up our operations through demo and pilot scale. We are in discussion with the Wageningen University and Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology to do these scaling up experiments. And we are looking for investors who are intrigued by this to help us to take these next steps.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Koen, for your presentation. I'm super sure someone will follow up on all the information you gave. I was wondering, like, the woody biomass, there is a high demand. So how difficult is it to actually source it?
Okay, that's a good question. We believe the biomass issue is a very Dutch issue. There is a demand which is primarily by renewable energy, biomass for renewable energy. But we are also aware that the governments increasingly are waking up to the fact that it's actually a very inefficient way of producing renewable energy. We have also spoken to, for example, to forestry companies in Scandinavia who are always exploring new ways to value the biomass they have. They are very interested in projects like this, and the availability of biomass has never been mentioned as a limitation.
Okay, that's good to know. Do we have any question from the audience? Yes, 2, 3 questions. There, over there.
I'll walk.
Thank you. So what is your biggest hurdle so far? So what's your next step? What gives you a headache right now?
Well, we don't have operations. We want to set up operations. For this, we are raising our seed round. What will be the technology is not a hugely complicated technology. What will be important for us is to connect with the food services and farmers that will be ultimately driving this business. And of course, we need to make sure that we hire the right people to implement this. The founder, I am not the founder. The founder is Gilles Amsalem. He's French. He's worked on it already for a few years. He couldn't make it today to be here. In addition to him, we also have a person sitting in the US who is ready to jump the moment we are ready to enter the US market, because that's, of course, also a huge market for us.
Thank you, Koen, for the interesting presentation and very interesting innovation as well. I was wondering, I had two questions. First of all, how long you had like a cyclus showing on this picture? How long does it take from the woody biomass to grow the fungi on it and then to produce alternative meat products?
Okay. Do I have the slide here or not? No. Yes. The biomass treatment is a process that gets completed in one day. That results in 1 ton of biomass will give you 3 tons of substrate. That substrate will get inoculated with the mycelium of the fungi. Then that mycelium will have to grow for a few weeks. And then, depending a bit on which specific fungi we're using, but then in cycles of 2 to 3 weeks, we can harvest 2 or 3 times from that substrate. Before then the productivity becomes less, and then we take back the old substrate and give new substrate to the farm. So that is kind of the timeline.
So a month.
From the biomass until the end of the harvest, it is about between 2 and 3 months.
Okay. And would it be possible in the future to have such a fermenter in your own house? Because you said small-scale models, and I don't know how small scale is.
Okay. The scale we are considering right now is the shipping container size. That can be. No. It depends on the size of your house, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Koen, I think you can follow up later on during the networking drinks. We are really running out of time, but of course you're going to have time later on. So I want to thank you again, and also please scan the QR code, and you can also have access to the pitch deck.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Koen. And we're moving to the last startup this afternoon, and that is Swiss-based Gaia Tech. Where's Sam? Here you are, straight in front of me. We're welcoming Sam Bielman to the stage. And your other co-founder, one of your other co-founders, is also here. You just saw him on the video. Yeah, there you are, Claudio. You're transforming olive pomace into high-end ingredients for food, feed, and cosmetics. But before we go into that, we all know, I already mentioned one of your co-founders, but we all know that a startup team can make or break the startup, right? So give us some insight in how long you guys go back.
So I went to school with Claudio's sister a long time ago. And when we first started to talk about business, I was marketing meat from organic family farms, and he's a very strict vegetarian. With Enrico, it's very different. It's more recently, but it was more love on the first sight.
Sounds like a good team, Sam. Are you ready for your pitch?
Yes, I'm ready. So standing between the uproar, 2 minutes, let's go. When you produce olive oil, you only use 20% of the fruit. The rest piles up as a brown pomace. the producers are desperate to get rid of this waste. And it's also harmful to the environment. My name is Sam. I'm part of an amazing team together with Enrico and Claudio. In the past 3 years, Claudio has developed a solution to upcycle these massive amounts of olive side streams into a food antioxidants to keep products fresh and healthy. The research is funded by EIT with 2.3 million, and Gaiatech has the right to exploit the IP and bring the product to the market. Our entry market is the cosmetic ingredients manufacturers. By 2025, our food product will be approved for the food ingredients market, where we enter also this market. Right now, we are looking for seed investment of 1 million to start producing for the cosmetic industry. Our technology is really simple. First, a decentralized extraction units treat the waste where it occurs. In a second phase, the central biorefinery produces clean label ingredients. We go beyond extracts. Gaiatech's vision is a circular approach. Compared to the current standard linear approach of treating waste and agricultural side streams, Gaiatech's circular value stream provides a range of products and benefits to the producers, the industry, and the environment. If you're excited to join us as an investor or as a pilot customer, let's talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for being here. Well, you know, you're actually on this stage today with me and Laura. We've been your coach basically for these past 3 months.
Thank you so much for this support. That was amazing. We really profited a lot.
Great to hear.
I didn't fit into 2 minutes.
No worries with that. No, but I mean, what I wanted to say was, you know, we've seen you exploring so many different applications and so many different possibilities. So which one are you going to focusing on from now on?
This is a very good question. As we know, the processing industry really has an urgent need to replace the synthetic with natural ingredients. So as we said, and what was the background of the research of Claudia was the product was developed with the food industry, and it's been approved for 2025 to enter this market. But we can already enter the cosmetic market with a lower regulatory barriers, and they are testing, cosmetic manufacturers are testing the product and have already come back with very promising results as not only shelf life extension, but also active ingredient, anti-aging properties, soothing in vitro studies. And that's been tested by an industry partner, where we're now looking at the volumes for them.
Great, yeah, you have many possibilities.
Thank you.
And do we have any question from the audience, maybe? No questions
Everybody's
for now?
thirsty.
Yes, we have a question.
Hi, Samuel. I'm Timmy. Very brilliant idea, I would say. My question would be, what is your main challenges regarding regulatory barriers when it goes to food and feed, respectively?
Well, it's basically that we have to approve the product, and also, like, let's say the food and the feed, we have the approval for the food is underway, and you can maybe figure out also more after at the upper with Claudio. He has these ties in this process. And as I know, the feed and also the pet food, which is another one, is not much simpler. So yes, we are very happy actually to have discovered, and also that we get a great response for the cosmetic industry, that we can start there. And also because we have smaller production in the beginning, the pilot production, and then like higher margins in that cosmetic market, and then lower margins in the food with ramping up the production, that makes actually sense for the market entry. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Any other question? Yes.
nice presentation. I was curious to hear about your competitors on the market. Yeah.
Sorry, again?
Who are your competitors on the market right now?
Competitors.
Yeah.
Our competitors. Yes, well, we are not alone, that's true, in this market. I would say there's, first of all, there's a bunch of startups that have discovered that you can get value out of these side streams. And I think in large, the food industry or the companies we're talking to, and we're getting also approached by our agricultural corporations, they're really waking up to the idea, we can totally not just make low value products out of our side stream, we can create higher value products. So main competitor, I would say, is probably a company in Spain that has a similar product, and it's called Renosa. You can look them up, and how we are different is certainly we are right now very specific with the claims and with the cosmetic industry, and yeah, I'm happy also to expand more or show you our competitors map in detail. You'll find it on the slides if you download it. Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? Maybe Sam, you can elaborate, because you're now starting from Olive side stream, but there are maybe other side stream that you can explore in the future?
Excellent question again, thank you so much, because also this didn't fit in our pitch in our 2 minutes. So yes, we can extend the extraction technology to other side streams, namely coffee, cocoa. Claudio and Enrico just coming back actually last week from Rwanda, where they were looking into the coffee producing side stream, and they are bringing back samples, and also that the problem really is very urgent for these producers to get rid of these waste side streams. And also already the understanding that the technology can actually easily be adapted to extract the ingredients in a it's not one-to-one, but it's very close. So that is feasible to extend our extraction technology to other side streams.
Okay,
yes.
Great. You really answered my question. Thank you so much. Okay, then I think time is up, but I will invite you to stay here a bit longer.
Okay. You can stay on the stage. We'll just have all the founders on the stage and the StartLife team as well. Now.
We would like to invite everyone now. And I want to use this short moment just to mention that we also have next week a webinar on the next cohort of StartLife Accelerate. So for all the startups that are interested, we are also now putting on the online chat the link to register to the webinar. And for those in person, maybe if you want to approach me or Bernadette, we will be super happy to answer your question. And thank you. And yeah, well, I want to congratulate everybody. I want to thank the online and in-person audience. We are very happy. We are super proud to be here, everybody here together. You see the progress that you made, all of us. And well, now let's just take your glass, raise them, and let's celebrate. Woohoo! I don't.
Picture time. Everybody gets drinks. We're ready for the drinks right now.
And also the drinks.
Thank you. Drink jij?
Ja. For the photo. I'm so big. Thank you.